I'm on a bit of a minor quest at the moment to see all 50 states before I turn 50, about a little over a year to go. And got to numbers 47 and 48 this past summer, south of North Dakota. I don't know if you've ever been to either of those states, but they're not filled with the most communicative people around. They don't have that same Midwestern vibe that you get in Illinois or so, where everyone smiles and talks to you on the streets. So in South Dakota, we went to a couple of the standard tourist sites. We went to Mount Rushmore, we went to Deadwood, we went to the Badlands. And North Dakota, there really wasn't much on the list of tourist sites to see. So we thought, let's just take a drive, see what we can find. We drove just across the border to the first town in North Dakota. In North Dakota, just across the border is about 50 miles or so. And we pull in this little town called Bowman. And all these other little towns that we'd been in along the way, there's pretty much nobody there. But Bowman suddenly had all these cars. Downtown Bowman, 2 whole blocks of it, was full. So we're wondering, what the heck's going on here? So we drive another block, find a place for our car, and hop out of the car and look up at the wall, the poster of the shop nearby. And it turns out it's the North Dakota High School Rodeo Championship that day. We thought, this we gotta see. So we take a walk up the street to the nearby cafe, bookstore, coffee shop, bakery, gift shop, all in one, where it happened to be, at that very time, the Rodeo Queen social was going on. So we got to see all these nice young ladies in some very, very big hats, and some lovely purple leather jumpsuit things with fringy stuff on it. And I ended up having a real nice conversation with the owner of the store, Debbie, and her clerk, Ashley. Ashley gave us some of her grandmother's homemade gingerbread cake, which was really good. And they served us a cup of coffee, which was about the worst cup of coffee I've ever had in my life, but that's another segment. And Debbie says, yeah, definitely come to the rodeo. I invite you. I happen to be also the mayor of the town. And so she calls around and finds us a hotel room, because of course everything is full, and we make plans to go to the rodeo that night and to check into the Elview Motel. Now the Elview Motel, lovely place, built probably in 1958, last renovated in 1958. And we walk in, and the room's clean enough, it's nice enough if you like naughty pine paneling on the wall, and we turn on the faucet and the water comes out kind of brown, but if you run it a little while, it's still kind of brown. And we head off to the rodeo. And after that nice introduction from Debbie and Ashley, we're expecting this community to absorb us and take us in and give us great welcome. And until much later that night, no one said another word to us. We're standing in line at the rodeo, and there's a person passing around a petition to keep PETA away from North Dakota rodeos by 500 yards. And the other person in front of us signed it, and they took a look at us, and they walked around us, and the person behind us signed it. So we went in, sat down, found our place on the stands, and started to realize why everyone at this rodeo was a little bit nervous. Because I have never run across more broken teenagers in my life in this place. There were people in collarbone casts, there were people in slings, there were people with stitches all over the place, and braces and things like that. So all these kids and all these parents were just watching these people, waiting for their kid to break. So we watch a while and see some of the great stuff, the barrel racing, just amazing. These young ladies zipping through and in and out of barrels and round things on these beautiful horses. And then we watch the bucking bronco. Some kid falls off, whacks himself against the railing of the stands, passes out for a while, paramedics take him off in the ambulance. We hear later, just casually, he wasn't that bad, it was only 10 stitches. So we watched the rodeo, we move on, we thought, well, no one's talked to us at the rodeo, maybe they'll talk to us in the bar. So we go to the bar. Turns out the only person who talked to us there was the crazy junk guy who put his arm around the shoulder of my partner Mary Ann and said, will you dance with me? So, in the end, in the morning, after a nice night's sleep at the Elview Hotel, we slumped quietly out of town after the second worst cup of coffee I've ever had at the diner in town. And we're looking forward to state number 49.